Hi there, and welcome to Yearly Reviews, a show where I go through all the games that I played through the year of 2020 1 week at a time. So without further ado, let's see what we're reviewing this week. We all know the usual and stereotypical game plots, the ones that have been repeated over and over again that the creators never heard of the definition of insanity. I'm talking about the plots that you often see like in TV and films, where the writers try and create a fictional yet still plausible game. You know, like Spaceman go shooty on some invading aliens in order for the player to get the high score and beat their friends. But arguably, the most well-known one of these plots is the platformer where the bad guy kidnaps the protagonist's love interest and the game is about saving them. We all know this one from Mario because, well, let's be honest, who doesn't? But what if you would have flipped this idea on its head and instead of playing as the protagonist, we play as the antagonist kidnapping the girl? And I know of only one game to follow this plot. Except for Braid, that being Nefarious. In this game, we play as the dastardly antagonist, painted in purple and with sharp white teeth, the supervillain himself, Crow. The usual plot for a game like this goes as follows: bad guy steals princess, good guy finds bad guy defeats bad guy, good guy gets the princess and wins. Crow has known this for several years and has tried to break the status quo over and over again to make sure he wins. And one day, he does. He finally kidnaps the princess and takes her on board his airship. But that isn't enough, for he has created a device known as the Doom Howitzer to bend the world to his will, and in order to do that, he needs 4 extra princesses, not including the one he just captured. But to get them, he has to go to each unique kingdom, fight anybody in his way, and kidnap the princess of that kingdom. To start, let's talk about the obvious thing. The game itself is presented with a vibrant and cartoony art style from the characters to the backgrounds, and along with the whole idea of reversing the trope of usual platform games like Mario where well, I've said it enough times now. The game itself is very fresh and creative with several different segments, each ranging from a seemingly endless runner, a deep sea diving minigame, the dating game for some reason, and many more. It also emulates a lot of charm from not just the art style but the ideas and characters that the game has. Like take for example the boss battles of this game, where in any other you might fight some big mechanical machine, whereas in Nefarious you are said big mechanical machine and you have to kill the hero, subverting the usual trope. While the game is pretty charming overall, it certainly isn't perfect. Firstly, in terms of gameplay, everything just felt stilted, if that's the right word for it. Something about the combat and the platforming just wasn't all that impressive, even though you are going through several different playstyles and environments. It was just punch enemies and jump and punch enemies. It felt quite repetitive at times. Another thing which I didn't very like was spoilers! The ending. More specifically, the bad ending. Throughout the game, you're constantly talking to the princesses you've captured on your airship, and they make you question whether you really want to be a bad guy anymore, and at the end, you've achieved your goal and have taken over the world. And yet the game sees this as the bad ending? Like, I played a game as the villain. I want the villain to win. I know it's just my opinion, but is that too much to ask? But, after we discussed all of that, it just leaves us with the question, is Nefarious a good game? And the answer, yes. And a little bit no. In terms of charm and originality, Nefarious has that in spades and a lot more to boot. Not to mention the whole time we're going through a story which subverts the traditional bad guy kidnaps princess trope, which is pretty original. However, in terms of gameplay, and despite the fact that there are multiple playstyles for each level, the gameplay feels a bit bare bones and the combat with the enemies felt a bit sluggish. Although then again, I do have to appreciate the little things of this game, as you do with any other game. For example, it's made by a small studio and was actually a Kickstarter project to begin with, so that's neat. So again, I like bits of Nefarious, but I equally dislike some other bits. Hey folks, thanks for sticking to the end of this review. If you like what you saw here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys making comments on these videos. They make up my day and I read every single one of them. If you like what you saw here, feel free to look at the newest review and look at the latest review. And if you want to watch more, feel free to hit that bell so you know when a new review drops. See ya and thanks for watching.